Hey, MSers. This is going to be the first of what should be many, hopefully, Monday MS talks. I mean, at least do Monday for MS because everybody hates Mondays. So why not talk about a shitty disease while we're enjoying our coffee or whatever, your choice of beverage or whatever you want. Nice warm cup of coffee. I've been drinking the mushroom coffee the past like 4 or 5 days. For some reason, it's starting to get real earthy. Started out good. I don't think it's the same one that I've had before. I think it's a different brand. I had to go back to my regular coffee for a bit. Got one that's a maple donut one that I picked up. I drink my coffee black, but I like some of the flavored ones like the Highlander Grog. And hazelnut is a good one. This isn't the coffee podcast. This is the MS podcast. Let's talk MS. Someone left a comment the other day on one of my other videos asking about how I'm still doing after my 2 years with Mavenclad. And figure what the heck, give you an update, tell you what's been happening. Basically, my new MS neurologist is not very hands-on or helpful with any of the MS stuff. It's like when I went to see him I've only seen him one time. I was supposed to see him again on New Year's Eve, but I fell that week, and uh, that was the one where I fell over the top of stuff, slammed into the corner wall. My finger got jammed in the door, and the door slammed shut when my body hit it, and I couldn't yank my finger out. So as I was falling down, I had to stay face first against the wall with my hand stuck in her, otherwise I would have had to yank my hand out or injure myself or possibly break a finger or two. So I just went with it and face planted the wall, and my face went right down a bookshelf and a door and everything else. And I was pretty beat up and sore for about a week after that or so. But it happened. I didn't make it to my appointment on New Year's Eve. I tried to do a virtual with them. Uh, Things happened and we never got in contact with each other. They weren't good about calling me and seeing what's wrong or anything like that. They're just like, okay, he's not showing up for his appointment. It's a virtual appointment. Check to see if I'm all right. I mean, it's not that hard for a nurse to punch a phone number in. Yeah, I'll be drinking my coffee a lot during this because I don't want it to go ice cold. It's not super hot. But yeah, the 2 years of Mavenclad, year one, I didn't really get anything out of it. I felt the T and B cells that were killed off uh, came back, and the new ones were still attacking my body. So you kind of get bummed out about that, but still have one more year to go. Went through the couple weeks of meds again, did the things, and the second year I felt the T and B cells that came back were not as aggressive as the ones prior. So I felt like I was in a stalemate, in a just basically on a plateau where my issues weren't getting worse, but they also weren't going away. I am secondary progressive, so no matter what I get, what issues I have, they pretty much stick around for good now. But I didn't really get any newish things until this past year. I wish I could remember. I think I've been off of Mavenclad for 2 years now. I feel like that's about right, or 2 years this August or something like that. Uh, this year, I started having more neurological pains. Uh, sorry about the purple walls. The wife decided to. We painted 3 rooms with my niece, and she decided to go with 2 different colors purple. This one's jelly bean, and I can't remember what the other one is. That's in the bedroom. It's a little bit darker, but I got to get some pictures up because plain walls behind me makes me look like I'm sitting in front of like a blue screen or something, waiting for some video stuff to happen. But yeah, I've been having more neurological pains, like with my left foot. I got like about I'd say 3 inch band from the bottom of my foot all the way up over the heel up to about the ankle height. And it feels like your flesh is just getting ripped out of there as it's being electrified. I do have 2 bone spurs there on that heel, so I'm sure that's what set it off. But yet, neurological pains I associate along with MS. Whether or not I had MS or not, I'd probably still have this pain. But there's nothing I can do about it. I had 1 bone spur, now I have 2 bone spurs there. With that being my crooked foot, that's probably just going to keep getting worse and worse. But we will see what happens. Other than that, I've been having other neurological zapping and stabbing type pains that have been acting up. uh, my dingling, I don't know how to say it nicely, but that I've been dealing with an ice pick in the head type feeling, along with the electrical zapping and stuff. But my urologist said I have a good sized kidney stone lodged in my flesh somewhere, and he says it's going to work its way through eventually, hopefully break up and then come out, not come out whole. But I think I've been passing little pieces of kidney stone the past couple weeks because it's been painful and issues with it. Went to the doctor this last uh, day. Today's Monday. I think I went in on Thursday or Friday. But I decided to give a urine sample just in case it was UTI related, but older, it does not feel at all like a UTI. This is a different UTI. I got pains deeper in me, whereas this was at the head of the dingling. I love having a frickin' disease. You gotta talk about all this weird shit. But on a positive note, I'm on my third type of bladder medication, and this new one is awesome. I can't think of the name offhand, but yeah, I can get through the whole night now with maybe getting up once, twice tops. Oh, no, 3 times, I'd say, on a rough night. Maybe if I had some drinks before bed or something like that. But yeah, I'm not dealing with the urgency issues and all that stuff, so that's a positive because the last 2 helped, but then they stopped helping. So hopefully this one will hold up, but I also hope it's not increasing kidney stone production or anything like that. Don't really know about that. We'll find out as this issue goes along and see what happens. But other than that, I have the normal weakness and heat, problems with cold, spasticity problems. I have all my issues that have been there forever, but it's not, I feel it's not as painful and bad as it was prior to Mavenclad. I definitely feel like I'm in that state though, where I don't really have much new stuff happening, but the old stuff's just not going to ever go away, especially being in secondary progressive. But I feel like I just did the move. If you haven't watched any of my other videos, my family screwed me over pretty good. I took care of my mother for 6 years with her dementia, advanced dementia. And I personally think she was doing better this last year than she did 3 years ago when she was crabby, didn't want to go anywhere, just didn't want to do anything. I could put on a video of her dancing and having fun with friends at family events and stuff like that. Get into start dancing as she was watching it, having a good old time. I'd sit there and watch different videos with her of weddings and stuff like that, her wedding and her friend's wedding. She actually not memorized, she recognized certain family members, not immediate family members. I'm talking more like cousins and stuff like that, that I didn't know their damn name, and she pointed them out to me. So I was so happy seeing that. And then the family just all of a sudden one day sent a text, "Mom's going in a home." 4 days later or whatever, they took her, grabbed a bunch of furniture, put her in a home. We were always told we could stay at the house for 2 years after Ma went in the home, since we didn't get paid for being a caretaker or anything like that. And that changed to 1 year after Ma went in the home, and then a couple days later it changed to 4 months. Then a couple days later it changed to 2 months. Then a couple days later it's like, you guys got to pay $2,500 a month rent plus utilities. It's like, really? We're in a tiny little living room in the house. We're still not using the upper two levels. We don't care about that. But then I went to a lawyer because they're like, you got to pay, because I wanted to buy the house. It's the house my dad built when I was born. It means so much to me. And they're like, well, you got to go to a bank and find out what you can get and do all that, but they're not going to let you have it because we want to get 400,000 for it. And I talked to lawyers, and my one lawyer that did my parents' will found out that if a family member was a caretaker for a family member with dementia or something like that, and they needed someone to take care of them for at least 2 years, and that caretaker was a disabled child, that child could buy the house under fair market value. So I got found out from the bank that the most we could get is 170,000. So I went at the family with that amount, and they're like, no. It's like, okay, the house needs tons of work. And it's our family home. Why wouldn't you keep it in the family? I have no children. If I pass, one of their kids could take the house over or something. It's like, why do we have to eliminate something from the family? It's so stupid to eliminate property. I mean, the house needs lots of work. Fine, we can build a new house up on the hill, but you don't sell property. And that's the biggest problem our family had over the years. We were the first business on Main Street in this town. I got pictures of the dirt town, and just our international tractor business went up, and farming implement store. And yeah, it's just, that's gone now. Our warehouse area is gone. It turned into a secondary gas station, which is just a broken down gas station now. It's all closed and falling apart. It's basically a parking lot now. My parents' first home in town, that's gone through how many hands? Then my grandma's home, my dad's mom, that home's gone. And my dad would make videos just sitting in that driveway up at our home, and that I wanted to buy. And he just basically explained, we were the first farmers over here by the mill pond. We gave the Sisters of St. Francis, the convent, for a handshake and $1. Great great grandfather. He was a doctor. He was actual millionaire back in like 80 years ago. And it's like he gave all his money away to different organizations and stuff when he passed. And yeah, he donated a couple libraries in his name and helped out the Sisters of St. Francis and some other people. It was awesome, the things we've done, but we've given and given and given. And this is the last piece of that we have left in this frickin' village, and I don't want to see it go. But my oldest sister is like, money go in mom's account, so money can pay for her $7,000 a month at a frickin' home that they don't even give her a shower. My sister takes her on Saturdays to her home to bathe her, which I think is stupid. If we're paying 7,000 a month, these people should be doing stuff. They had a diarrhea issue one day, and the lady didn't know what to do with it. She was getting frustrated with mom, so it's like when we're not there, are they yelling at her, getting pissed with her, abusing her? We don't know. And it's so stupid. I gotta get off that rant. But I am a big proponent for Mavenclad. I wanted Mavenclad years before I got it. When I heard it was what it was doing overseas, and we still didn't have it in the U.S. and stuff, I followed it from the moment I found out about it to the moment I took it. And like I said, the first year was rough. It felt like everything came back, but second year was better. I mean, it's a crapshoot. You don't know what your body's going to produce for antibodies and all that stuff. Uh, so I followed tons of people that did go through the 2 years and how they went and how they ended up dealing with it and the problems they had. And so you're kind of like, I mean, it's like the damn disease, the monster MS. It's everyone's different. Everyone has different issues, different stuff, and we have a lot of relatable stuff. But it's also a lot that it's pretty much every person has a little something different than other people do. So even though we may have a lot of similar things, there may be issues that the other person didn't have that one does have and all that. I personally feel it was the best thing I ever did. I felt it was the closest thing to cell therapy that I could get without going overseas to have stem cell therapy done. And personally, I don't know too many people that did this stem cells stuff that are any better. Uh, Maybe a little bit for a little while. Seems like a lot of them within 10 years or less end up having a bunch of problems coming back and all that stuff and just re-hitting your system. I personally don't like things going away, issues going away, and then coming back because I've had MS from what I can tell for almost my whole life. I can relate things that go back to my childhood. But when you have pains on a continual basis, your body kind of gets used to those pains, and when they go away for a little while and then they come back, they're way worse. They're actually probably not way worse. You're just not used to the pains anymore. So you're like, oh shit, what's this? It's like, I didn't have this bad of fatigue, or I didn't have this bad of neurological pains and in the past. But then you think about it, it's like, yeah, I did, but my body got used to a lot of them. It was nice to have different pains once in a while just so it could take your mind off of other pains. But yeah, it's just, I say, I did, oh, Ozempic? No. Is it? No, not Ozempic. Oh, Christ, I can't even think of. Cognitive, I'm not doing good, obviously. But yeah, oh my God, I can't even remember the first MS drug I took. One was injection, one was infusion. Ocrevus was my second one. Everybody takes the other one, the injection one, when they start out with relapsing MS. Usually, most doctors put them on that. I can't think. Uh, is it Copaxone? Let's just say it is Copaxone and Ocrevus. Those two didn't do well for me. I felt Ocrevus would have done better, but they screwed up my getting my infusion bags to me in time, and things happened with insurance and became a mess, and I ended up getting my infusion bags later than I should have. And as most people know that are on those type of infusions, uh, you hit that crap gap anyways the last 4 weeks or so before your next infusion. And I felt that that was a big issue with me because of them being late with my infusion bag or getting my bag mixed up with something else and having to wait for those to come through and then switching doctors during that period. I ended up going down to Milwaukee towards the end of my infusions, and they had problems getting the infusion stuff. And so they took me off that, and that's when I found my next. Oh no, yeah, I did change MS neurologist again during that, and actually got my first MS neurologist during the Ocrevus stage. Then they brought up the Mavenclad, and I'm like, yes, that's one I really wanted to try. So we got lucky and got on it, and I was very happy with the results. But it's, I'm nervous because I'm not on anything now. I worry about a big event happening, but it's weirder because being secondary progressive, it's not like relapsing remitting where things hit you, you're curled up in bed, you're suffering through it, trying to get through a few days or a week of crap. And no, now I'm just dealing with the shit every day and adjusting to it. So I can't really speak for people with relapsing remitting or progressive, uh, since I'm secondary progressive. So I can't be the voice really for those people, but I hope they have good results with Mavenclad. It helps put off some of their issues for quite some time. But I feel no matter what we do, all our issues are going to come back and some, anyways, eventually. It was just weird taking that med for 2 years, very limited take dosage. You only deal with it for like, what is it, a week or 2 weeks every year. And then you're just, and it's a relief. It's nice not having to do injections every day or infusions every couple of months or whatever. Uh, but it's always in your head. It's like this move, having to get out of the house and buying a house, which I don't even think I can afford. I don't know how this is going to work. And not to until I get all the monthly bills and figure out what's happening. Because the house we bought, I wasn't even thinking about it. Had a renter upstairs. So there's 2 water heaters, there's 2 electrical hookups, there's two of everything. So now am I going to easily be able to switch that back to a single family home atmosphere? Or am I going to be paying more because I got double the meters and all that stuff out there? I have no idea. I got to make a lot of phone calls. Well, this week or next week, probably next week, because this week the renter's still here. Well, not here anymore. They came a couple days ago and moved her bed and everything else, but she still has a few things, which I'm glad because we're gonna miss her. We actually really got enjoyed meeting her. She's a nice person, and we're looking forward to her renting up until October. But since the old owner bought a new house that also has an apartment upstairs, he talked her into coming and staying with her. Uh, so that changed everything with that, and now we're just gonna see what happens. I'll have to see how the bills go and everything, and we're constantly heard the horror stories about the water bill and in this village, so I'm worried about that, but we'll see how it goes. Got a lot of work to do on this house, but it'll be slow little projects I can do here and there. But we're running out of money quick. Want to get plumbing and electrical all up to date first. That's my main concern. 'Cause we got holes in the walls and stuff where they did new plumbing and stuff, but they never re-drywalled or plastered over anything. And the other night we got a big square hole in our ceiling of our bedroom. The other night the cat was being annoying, and I thought, well, he can't want to eat yet. It's only like 12:30 in the morning, and he's just amped up annoying us and trying to get him to stop. And finally the wife gets up to go to the bathroom, and she's like, Kirby, we got a bird in here. And I look up and it flies past my face. I'm like, no, we got a bat. Which we love bats. So it's not a problem with us. And I was able to catch him in the laundry basket and release him outside, put a blanket over until I got him outside. He was making a few squeaky noises, yelling at me for a little bit there. Um, come up here, doofus. Come on. Come up. Yeah. Mr. Lemmy Killmeisters joining the show. But yeah, it's just had a rabbit a couple days in the basement that this little shit brought in. Yeah, the bat flying around the bedroom. But yeah, it's pets. They're good for your health. Petting them lowers your heart rate, makes your body happier, but they can annoy the shit out of you. Late hours of night. This one wanting to go out and play and then not coming in till midnight or so, and you're like, damn it, we live in a village now, right on a main road. Thankfully, he stays to the backyard. Hopefully, he'll keep that up. But I gotta worry about that every time he's out now. But he was good about it at our old house when he did cross the road to go play in the farmer's field or whatever. He would stop at the road and look both ways a few times, and then haul butt across or culvert underneath the road, which was awesome when I'd see him do that. But yeah, with living on the streets up there and being attacked and stuff, he was good about things like that. Are you not happy now? Oh, just come up here. Oh, let's talk some other MS stuff before I end this, since I was just going over the Mavenclad mostly because someone mentioned it. I uh, I give it 2 thumbs up. And granted, this freaking disease ain't gonna go away. There's no cure for it. Gonna have to deal with whatever. But I feel like I feel better now than I did the year I started Mavenclad and many years before that. I just feel like probably the secondary progressive, just being stuck with the issues I'm so used to. But I just, I'm so much happier now than I was when I was on Copaxone or Ocrevus and having my days where I just did not want to get out of bed or I just doing something and all of a sudden a bunch of issues kick up and I'm just rolled up in the fetal position, just wanting to hide from the world and just not deal with it anymore. But yeah, I can't give you the actual answers. I don't know if it's because of being in secondary progressive and not having to deal with all the relapse, feeling better, feeling worse, feeling better, feeling worse, just bouncing around like a tennis ball. It's just easier to live with the pains and hope that you have days where you don't even recognize them and you're just so mentally used to it that it's like, yeah, this is normal. I can go out and about, do things. I mean, I'm running around a lot more now than I was back 2 years ago. Uh, I'm getting more stuff done. I mean, being in this house that we bought, it needs a lot of freaking work, but I'm finding myself being able to do some of it without having tons of extra issues along with it. So I'm a positive proponent for Mavenclad. Think I think everybody should start out with the basic, the self injection, Copaxone style or something like that. And once you progress, I think you should definitely, or not, you should definitely. I think the doctor should consider Mavenclad as one of the top ones. It's just so close to doing the stem cell without going through a month of being in a hospital bed and having massive bowel and bladder issues and all that while you're taking these freaking drug and it's killing your everything in your system and stuff. Mavenclad kills off a lot of the T and B cells, but doesn't disable you like I would think stem cell therapy does. But, but yet you kind of get the same concept, just not as aggressive as the stem cell stuff. Uh, which Mavenclad did make me nervous. I don't touch the pill. Don't just throw it in your mouth and swallow it, and don't let it sit in your mouth. Don't let it. If you do touch it or something like that, you gotta worry if you're gonna have. You can't. You pretty much gotta stop your sex life and hope you don't have any kids during the phase of that because the drug can affect their body also. And there's so much. It's like thing's pretty dangerous. I don't know if I feel good about taking it, but I'm so happy I did. Let's look at some healthy types of cheese. I'm a cheesehead. I'm from Wisconsin. A mozzarella, it's basically high moisture content. If you ever watch someone make mozzarella and they're working it in the water and stuff like that, and uh, we used a low moisture mozzarella when we made our pizzas and stuff like that. But it's it's definitely one of the healthier ones for you. It just doesn't have that much flavor to it. Problem, but it's awesome for pizzas, lasagnas, pastas, and then you put a little parmesan on there to give it a little kick. a little smokiness. And there is smoked mozzarellas and stuff that we've used with our different foods and stuff back in the restaurant. So you can get different ones like that too. But mozzarella also has a bacteria that acts as a probiotic, including strains of Lactobacillus casei and Lactobacillus fermentum. The studies in animals and humans suggest that these probiotics may improve gut health and regularity, promote immunity, and decrease inflammation. So that's a good thing. I have mozzarella pretty much. It's like a cat hair. It's on, I don't know. It's like tickling the side of my nose, driving me nuts. Uh, Blue cheese, I can't stand it. You can get that from cow's milk, goat's milk, sheep's milk. It's cured with cultures from the mold penicillium. Uh, the mold used to create blue cheese gives it a distinctive odor and a bold, tangy flavor, and that's what I hate about it. And it's a good source of calcium. But yeah, and that with MS too, I've noticed some MSers have more calcium issues than others, but yeah, it's I don't know. Can't remember what I read about that a while back. But another cheese I don't care for, feta cheese. Uh, it's a soft, salty white cheese originally from Greece. It's typically made from sheep's or goat's milk. Uh, sheep's milk gives it the tangy and sharp taste, while goat's milk is milder. But yeah, not a fan of feta cheese. Uh, it does provide conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, which is associated with many benefits, including reduced body fat and other changes in body composition. Now I got hair on this side of my face. Why are you so hairy? Huh? Why are you losing your hair? I suppose bring that down a little bit so you can see his head. Uh, Cottage cheese. That's the wife likes it with pineapple. I can't stand putting fruit with my cottage cheese. It's just weird to me flavor wise. I don't know, but I know a lot of people like that. Like just putting it on my side salad. I like cottage cheese, but or just straight up. It's made from the loose curds of cow's milk. It's higher in protein than other cheeses. Studies suggest that eating high protein foods such as cottage cheese can increase feelings of fullness and help to decrease overall calorie intake. That's always a good additive to have to help cut things. Ricotta cheese, another cheese I'm not a fan of. It's an Italian cheese made from the watery parts of the milk of cows, goats, sheep's, or Italian water buffalo that are left over from making other cheeses. So basically, it's the stuff that's got all the dirt and everything off your body parts after you work all the other cheeses out of the moisture bath that they're going through. Uh, the protein in it is mostly whey, a milk protein that contains all the essential amino acids that the human body needs to get from food. Parmesan, don't buy the pre-graded stuff. And if you get it from an actual deli, they're using the hard Parmesan block and grading it. But we found out years back I don't know what, this isn't the exact number, but you can have like 30% cardboard in your Parmesan cheese. So I don't know if they're grating cardboard in with the cheese or what, but that's just disgusting. So I only buy the block Parmesan and grate it myself, and it lasts forever in its hard form. So, and if you do get a little mold, just cut it off and use the stuff underneath if you're afraid of that extra penicillin in your life. Uh, it also contains 16% of the DB for phosphorus. Uh, there was a study where 5,000 adults found that higher dietary intakes of calcium and phosphorus were significantly associated with better bone mass in certain parts of the body, including the femur, the longest human bone. And Parmesan is very low in lactose, and most people who have lactose intolerance can usually tolerate it. So that's a good thing. If you can't have any dairy that you're missing out on. But yeah, we like putting it on our pasta and pizza. Then you got Swiss cheese. That one is lower in sodium than most other cheeses. It is often recommended for anyone who needs to monitor their salt intake, including people with high blood pressure. So that's a good thing. Also, it's a good cooking cheese and stuff. Put like some chicken breast into a crock pot, cook that up, add some French dressing, some sauerkraut as you're cooking it, and then I like to top it with Swiss cheese, and you have an awesome little dish. You can either make sandwiches out of it or just have it as it is with a side salad or something like that. But I like using the crock pot because it meat to the point that it just falls apart, and you don't have the tougher chicken breast that you get sometimes. You sleepyhead. Yeah, that's all you do is sleep. It's a rough life, huh? Cheddar. It's widely popular. Semi-hard cheese from England. Uh, it can be white, off-white, or yellow. The taste of cheddar depends on the variety, ranging from mild to extra sharp. Vitamin K is a big source from cheddar, um, and it's also rich in protein and calcium. Vitamin K is important for heart and bone health. It helps prevent calcium from accumulating in the walls of the arteries and veins. That's a good thing. I like cheddar in all forms, mild to extra sharp, but I'm more late at night. If I have chunks of cheddar, I like to nuke them in the microwave for like 10 to 15 seconds just to give them a little softness. It's a good late night snack. Goat cheese, also known as chèvre, is a tangy, soft cheese made from goat's milk. It has more medium chain fatty acids than cow's milk. These type of fat are rapidly absorbed in your body and are less likely to be stored as fat, so that's a good thing. But yeah, that's a good variety of cheeses for you to choose from if you do want cheese in your diet. I have to, because being from Wisconsin, I have to stick with my cheesehead mentality. See what else we got here. Ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is a plant-based adaptogen used in traditional medicine for thousands of years. Adaptogens are plants that support the body's physiological response to stress, They have been linked to lower stress levels. That's a good thing. It has grown in popularity for its health promoting properties, but it can lead to stomach upset for some people. So, choosing the right time to take it may help you reap the greatest benefits without any side effects. It's a root vegetable type thing. The ashwagandha supplements may provide various benefits, including reduced blood sugar, stress, and anxiety levels, and improved sleep. I think I should try it later at night and see what's up. Melatonin's just not doing it for me. I just keep taking more and more of it lately. Uh, you may wish to take it in the morning along with any other vitamins or supplements. That said, taking ashwagandha on an empty stomach may lead to mild stomach discomfort in some people. Therefore, you may wish to take it after breakfast or after eating a small snack. I would think you'd want it at night if it helps you with sleep. You can add it to a smoothie, drink, or other meals. If used to promote sleep, you may opt for ashwagandha powder in moon milk, a blend of antioxidants and adaptogens before bed to help you relax. Can't remember what was. See if they show me here. Moon milk is a stress busting beverage derived from Ayurvedic medicine, one of the oldest holistic and healing systems in the world. It is known for its rich blend of herbs and adaptogens such as ashwagandha. Adaptogens are herbs and plants that are thought to help the human body manage physical and mental stressors. Uh, the recipe for moon milk is 1 cup milk of choice, such as whole almond or coconut. I prefer almond milk myself. Half a teaspoon of ground ashwagandha powder, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a quarter teaspoon of ground ginger, a pinch of ground nutmeg, 1 teaspoon coconut oil, and 1 teaspoon honey or maple syrup. Bring it to a low simmer, but don't let it boil. Once the milk is hot, whisk in the ashwagandha, cinnamon, ginger, and nutmeg. Simmer for 5 minutes, stir in the coconut oil, and pour the moon milk into a cup. Sweeten with honey or maple syrup if desired. I'm going to have to pick up those things because I want to try that. I have most of them here. I just don't have the ashwagandha powder. So make it once I get that. All right. MS hug versus costochondritis. What's the difference? Well, each person experiences the MS hug differently. Yeah, big time. I have so many different versions of the MS hug. uh, the symptoms can cause tightness anywhere between the neck and the waist. It may be felt on one or both sides of the body, and it can range from an annoying tickle to a vice like grip that makes it difficult to breathe. I don't know about a vice like grip, more like a gorilla squeezing the shit out of you. Just, with MS hug, pain symptoms are related to nerves, neuropathic, muscles, non neuropathic, or both. Nerve damage produces the abnormal sensations of the MS hug, and muscle spasms create the pressure, tightness, and aching. Heat, stress, and exertion are common triggers of multiple sclerosis symptoms, including the MS hug. The hug can also be triggered by a flare or relapse, and in some cases, costochondritis can trigger an MS hug. I had the hug way more during this move than I've had in the past year. It seemed like every time I was at the storage shed unloading the truck or whatever, it's like my body was hot, stressed out, and it just set it off. Thankfully, I kept ice cold bottles of water with me so I could take little sips to try and get some relief from the tightness. But yeah, it just kept coming back and back and back, and I'd get unloaded as soon as I could, and then get back to the house where I could just wallow in my pain. uh, it, some people say it feels like a boa constrictor tightening around them. This person's hugs are on the mellow side, but very annoying. This person feels like their bra is on too tight and they realize they're not wearing one. Uh, what is costochondritis? It occurs due to an inflammation of the cartilage between the ribs. The term costochondritis comes from costosternal, which means relating to the ribs and sternum, and chondrodynia, which refers to pain felt in cartilage. Other terms for costochondritis include chest wall pain, costrosternal syndrome, costrosternal chondrodynia. Uh, the names all provide ways of describing the painful effects the condition has on your intercostal muscles or the muscles in between your ribs. In most cases, doctors don't believe there are any clear cause for costochondritis. There are, however, a few risk factors to consider. An acute injury, like a hard blow to your chest. Physical strain, including heavy coughing or overly strenuous exercise. Joint conditions, including osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, or ankylosing spondylitis. Infections, including tuberculosis, syphilis, and aspergillosis, both cancerous and benign tumors. How does it feel? One person says, guessing it is possible to have the hug and costochondritis, wrote one member, horribly painful. Another member said, I was told by my neuro that costochondritis was part of my MS hug in that it involved part of my rib cage. Such terrible pain. I thought I was having a heart attack. The attack lasted about 2 weeks and hasn't ever returned. That's nice. Other members discussed what the symptoms can come on. For 2 months now, I've had dull chest pain near my sternum that my GP diagnosed as costochondritis. Another member wrote, during this time, the pain comes and goes, no rhyme or reason. However, in the past 2 weeks, the pain can be anywhere on my chest, and, and I'll also feel it in the same location on my back. At times, my shoulders and neck have been tense. So, yeah, I can see it being relatively easy to mix up with the hug. Uh, some other key things to remember, it usually occurs on the left side of your breastbone. Yep, I thought so. It affects more than one of your ribs. It gets worse when you cough or take deep breaths. Yeah, I for the longest time I'd get these pains in my left side, and you're thinking heart attack. go and get all the tests done, and find the only thing they say I in costochondritis was brought up, and in many of my reports over the years with it. But a lot of times they say it's basically you must have overstretched or doing something and your muscle tissue got caught between a couple of your ribs because they couldn't get no heart numbers that showed me having any type of heart attack or anything like that with all the machines that they hook you up to. But a lot of times that was their answer for me. Just use heat, try and get it to loosen up and pop out of the rib cage, and then it'll go away, but it doesn't. You basically sit there and suffer for a week with it, or however long. Sometimes a few days, sometimes a couple of weeks. Yeah, it's. I've had that and been diagnosed with it and dealt with it a lot over the years, along with my hugs, and they have similar type issues. But yeah, I can fully see that. Then the last thing I'll talk about is heartburn dangerous. Uh, when stomach and acid works its way up into your esophagus, the uncomfortable feeling of your chest is called acid reflux or heartburn. Knowing what triggers your heartburn is important to avoid or reduce acid reflux. It's also important to recognize the symptoms that indicate your heartburn. Uh, I get it bad sometimes to the point that I want to go to the ER, but now they got me a heartburn medication that's stronger that actually helps break some of those issues. Heartburn occurs when stomach acid moves from your stomach into your esophagus and irritates the lining of the esophagus. Usually, after you drink or swallow food, a small muscular ring called the lower esophageal sphincter (LES) closes to prevent stomach acid from entering the esophagus. If the sphincter doesn't close tightly, the result may be acid reflux. Some of the factors that cause the LES to weaken or lose its shape include excess alcohol consumption, causing it to relax too much and over time damaging the LES. Medications, including certain antihypertensives, antidepressants, sedatives, other drugs that can cause the LES to relax. Overeating or having obesity, which puts excess pressure on LES. Certain foods, especially those with high fat content. You'd think you eat spicier stuff too. When heartburn becomes a chronic difficulty, it could be a symptom of a condition called gastroesophageal reflux disease or GERD. According to the American College of Gastroenterology, you may want to consider seeing a doctor and getting a possible evaluation for GERD if lifestyle and dietary changes don't stop heartburn episodes, or if you need to take heartburn relieving over-the-counter medications at least twice a week. You may want to talk to your doctor if there are other heartburn symptoms, like choking or coughing due to a feeling of acid in the chest, difficulty swallowing, vomiting, or coughing up blood, or weight loss. More serious complications of heartburn can be esophagitis, which is an inflammation of the esophagus and possible cause of ulcers or bleeding. Esophageal stricture, which is inflammation and irritation of the esophageal lining, can cause the esophagus to narrow, which can make swallowing more difficult and lead to complications ranging from choking to malnourishment, from reduced food consumption. There's Barrett's esophagus, which is an uncommon condition affecting an estimated 1.6 to 6.8% of the general population. It develops when the lining of the esophagus becomes damaged by continual exposure to stomach acid and can lead to a type of cancer called esophageal adenocarcinoma. But yeah, you can do lifestyle changes, back off of alcohol, chocolate, coffee, greasy foods, and high fat foods, including whole fat dairy products, peppermint, spicy foods, medications. They got antacids like Mylanta, Rolaids, and Tums. They got H2 blockers like Adjuvant and Pepsid. They got proton pump inhibitors like Prevacin and Nexium and Prilosec. Yeah, I can't remember the brand that I'm on, the prescription I'm on. I'm not on it regularly. I just have it. And when I do have the issues, I take it for a few days and it helps relieve it. So, but we broke the hour mark, so I don't want to go on further. We will end it here. Hopefully, some of that stuff helps. Uh, I'm definitely gonna say I am a proponent for Mavenclad, so hopefully, if you're on it, it helps you. But I feel that it was the best thing I ever did for my MS. I wish I could have got it when I was still relapsing remitting, not once I got to the secondary progressive stage. Would have been nice to see how it worked with that, but what you gonna do? It's all part of life. Life we gotta live if we're stuck with this stupid, uncurable disease. Uh, but take care of yourself. Kick the shit out of a monster. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, give us those likes, leave a comment. I'll comment back. If it's a comment like the one I got that made me talk about Mavenclad, I will talk about stuff to hopefully help you understand how things went for me. But don't take that as an example. Always check with your doctor. Make sure your doctor knows what your plans are, what you want to do. Mention to them if you want to try something, see what their opinion is. Not all doctors are right, but hopefully you got one that's good for you. I'm still struggling to find one that's going to listen to me the way I want them to. I really want to go to the Dr. Foster Institute for multiple sclerosis, but it's like a 6 hour drive, and I don't think my body could take that. The last time I did a 4 hour drive years ago, my body shut down so bad. So, not sure if I could handle that or not. Maybe if I took a train or something like that, it would be easier. But something I may have to do in the future. Find out after my October appointment with my new MS neurologist that I've only seen once in 2 years. Yeah. But take care of yourselves. Falling under the spell of MS. And we'll be back with more of these soon. And hopefully every Monday will be MS Mondays now. So take care. Bye.